Alright, today we're going to solve equations where the number in front of the variable is a fraction, and that's called a fractional coefficient. And the coefficient is just the number in front of the variable. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2/7. And when I do that, I'm left with 2/7 divided by 2/7 gives me 1 times x, so that just gives me 1x. And then I have 4 divided by 2/7, which is really 4 times 7 over 2. So I'm going to make this 4 over 1. 4 times 7 gives me 28. And 1 times 2 gives me 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. X then equals 14 in this case. Now, this probably looks like the same problem. I'm going to do the same one, but I'm going to show you a shortcut. Instead of dividing and then having to flip your fraction, all you need to do is actually multiply both sides by the reciprocal of your fraction to begin with, and that takes away 1 or 2 of the steps that you were working with before. Because 7 over 2 times 2 over 7 gives you 1 right away. You're left with x. And then on the right hand side, you just make this 4 over 1, and then you multiply right away. 4 times 7, well, that gives me 28, and 1 times 2 gives me 2. So right away, I can see 28 divided by 2 is 14. Let's try another one. This one has something that's being added or subtracted, so we need to do that step first. So I'm first going to subtract 2 from both sides, and I'm going to be left with 1/2 x equals 4 minus 2 gives me 2. The next step would then be 2. I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1 on both sides. That's that reciprocal step that I was just saying about. Gives you a shortcut. So 2 over 1 times 1/2 gives me 1x. And then on the right hand side, I have 2 times 2 gives me 4. And 1 times 1 gives me 1, so I don't even need that. I have x equals 4. Let's do one more example. Alright, here's our last example. Again, we have something that is added or subtracted, so we need to get rid of that first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. When I add 4 to both sides, I'm left with 2/3 x equals -10 plus 4 is -6. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this fraction, which is 3/2. I'm going to make this -6 over 1. 3/2 times 2/3 gives me 1, so that cancels that out. I'm left with x equals -6 times +3 gives me -18, and 1 times 2 gives me 2. -18 divided by 2 gives me -9, so x equals -9. I hope this helped you solve any equations that have fractions in them. If you need any more help, please come see me.